Hello and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee Hub. It's fun, Steve, and I just have to spill the tea. No, well,
Uh-oh.
we spill
What
the tea, but
tea?
we spill the tea in a nice way. I have noticed something that is becoming insane, especially on social media. And then I've had conversations this week, and people have been bringing this up to me. And I'm like, how I answer these questions is completely different to what other people are being told. And that's when someone asks for, well, what do you think of this person? Or what do you think of this business? Or what do you think of this restaurant? And especially, I hear it a lot when they ask your opinion on someone who is in the same field as you.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
And the amount of people I'm hearing that are turning to this negative, like, I've heard people say that they have people, companies have rats in their restaurant. I've had people say, well, that person never gets results. I've had people say, oh, are you sure you want to deal with that kind of person? Or well, you know that they're just defrauding it and because they go on vacations after their charitable event. I mean, so much gossip and
Hmm.
nothing can be backed up.
No,
Nothing. There's
not at all.
no absolute proven way to do it. And I'm there thinking, why do people do this? Because I do it so different. And I know you do it so different as well.
Yeah, because we're not
It's,
like that, first of all.
yeah,
Competition's healthy. I mean, I've referred business coaches for decades
yeah.
because they might
I,
not be the right cup of coffee for me, but someone else.
yeah. I think the closest thing I've come to on this is when someone's talked about having someone do their social media. I'll ask, are you looking for a strategist or a manager?
Mm,
Because that's an important distinction to make. And they'll go, well, what's the difference? A manager posts what you tell them to do, and a strategist comes up with the plan for you.
right.
And they're like, we didn't realize there was a difference.
And I think if other people would just ask that another question instead of
Hmm.
just jumping right to the
Yeah.
answer, like, don't talk to Joe.
Oh my gosh, I hear it all the time. Oh, that yeah. Oh, why are you talking to this person? They're not going to help you. Let me come and tell you about my offer.
Hmm.
And I have seen it done in a fairly funny way that has gone viral. And it's like the fast food restaurants where they've done the little sign wars between them.
Right.
But they're all in on it. It's not an attack. They're all
No.
doing it for fun and publicity. That's different.
Right. On that note, I'd say if you're not following Wendy's on social media, start. They have the funniest responses to people, and people are now, have been in the last couple of years, coming up with the craziest scenarios just so they can get a response from Wendy's.
uh, it's there's this a TikTok account that I follow. I'm no interest in the product. I wouldn't buy the product. It's not for me. But this is so out there and so outrageously hilarious. I follow them too.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're doing it on purpose. We're talking about that place.
Mm,
It comes from a place of insecurity, I think.
I agree. And yeah, the insecurity, but also desperation.
Yeah. And instead of leading with your value, you try and destroy someone else's value.
I mean, I know we've talked about it with some of our clients in the past. We never name names when we're talking about one of our clients, but we might need a little help to like the answers in front of us, and we might just talk to each other about it, and then the light bulb goes on. But we
Hmm.
hear from some of our clients too. They're saying, well, I had a chance to close this deal, and then they brought up my competitor's name, and I lost it. And I started bad
Mm.
mouthing them. And that's the way they are. And I go, have you ever used your competitor's products? Have you ever researched your competitor? Have you actually talked to your competitor? And then it's been no, 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 no. Then why are you trashing them?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Instead of leaning into your value, I will actually encourage people, oh, do your own research. I'm quite
Hmm.
happy for you to do that. And then I'll follow up with some questions. What are some of the
Right.
results that you're looking for? What are you seeing as a differential between these two people?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's what you need to research to see if they're offering the service that you need. And it's not like going, well, that one doesn't offer. I don't say, well, you need to go with them because this one doesn't offer the service. It's like, oh, what service is it you need? What are you looking to get out of this? Now, okay, so this is important to you.
Right.
I know I offer this service, which is why we're talking. But if you're looking at other people, you need to research if they offer that service too, because no two companies are alike, and some have different services, some have different products. And 9 times out of 10, they go, uh, no, actually, I just think I'm just going to sign here. And I didn't say a bad word,
Right.
but they actually appreciate that I'm willing to let them do their research and
Mhm.
do their own due diligence and make their own decisions, not push it on them.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I wrote a book, 10 questions you should ask a business coach before you hire them, because interview them.
Yeah.
They're not all the same. And I've known hundreds and hundreds of different types of coaches. And if they're not right for me, I will ask questions to guide them to the right people to interview them. Not saying this is the best.
Yes.
It might not be the right mix. Or I'm not, maybe I didn't ask another question that you are dying for someone to help fix.
Hmm. And I think this is also, and I'm going off topic here because this just popped in my head, and it's something that I've dealt with in the last few months. Is I had a potential client at the time saying, "Well, this is what I'm looking for: X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all this," and I quoted them, and their response was, "But this person's less expensive, okay? And can't you match that price?" A lot of people out of desperation would be, "Okay, let me match that price."
Right.
And my
Oh,
response is, I am possible to come up with a project that will align with that price point. Which of the deliverables would you like us to scale back on? So yeah,
absolutely.
I will offer to price match, but I don't price match package for package
Mhm.
because of the value. And at the same time, that is not saying anything negative. But I didn't tell them that that company was bad. I was like, yeah, I can match it. What deliverables do you want you to scale back on? And they tell me, well, they're doing it all, so I think I'll go with them. I said, not a problem. I wish you the best of success with it.
Right. And that's where you're also holding your integrity, your values of your business. And I
Yeah.
try to tell clients this in workshops. It's like, why are you like lowering yourself? You're lowering your value, your products and services, and who you are, your businesses, to match a price where you work so hard to gain all this knowledge and experience. You deserve that price and you're competitive, and you gave them a dang great quote. Don't
Hmm.
do this to yourself. It's hurting
Yes.
you.
It's hurting you. And I've seen clients that no matter how much I stress to them, that the negativity
Yes.
doesn't work. And I've seen them go and post on their competitors. Well, if their products actually work, they wouldn't have to keep doing sit. And I'm like, why? No, stop. And that company then gets a reputation for being rude,
Right.
angry, and a bully, and they lose business.
One thing I've seen on these attacks, since we're talking about one company attacking, even though
Mhm.
they don't understand what that company really does, or
Yeah.
I mean, in one of my brick and mortars,
Mhm.
I knew all my competitors within a 10-mile radius. We
Yeah.
all knew each other. So when people
Yeah.
said, "What do you think about this person?" "Oh, Joe, love Joe. We all have coffee all the time. What are you looking for?" I'll tell you what Joe has, because I
Mhm.
know my competitors so well. We got along.
Yeah. And
And what I'm seeing the trend now in the last couple of years, and I hate seeing this and it's gross, is don't buy from them or go with them because they are affiliated with left or right
whatever.
party. Yeah, a political party. And they're
Yeah.
making political over something that shouldn't be. And it's gross and disgusting. And when I hear clients do that, I'm like, you're not the client for me, because
Yeah.
your integrity and your values are really low right now. And that's not who I am.
So I will offer a slightly different approach to this on that for the political side because I have not gone with a company because of their political
Right.
standpoint. But it's not because it's their political standpoint, it's how they're voicing using their company's platform for their
Right.
political standpoint.
Yeah, that's a difference. Whereas a client, someone's
Yeah.
complaining about another company because of their political standpoint, and you can't find anything. And I agree with you. I don't know how many times I've seen companies use their platforms to pronounce their standing.
Yeah. And I'm, you know me, you know how I am. I will accept anyone's point of view on a political standing as long as they're one, respectful,
Hmm.
and two, can handle a coherent conversation about it. Even one of those, it's like, nope, sorry, we're not going down here with that. But I'm okay with a company being proud to do this. But if they're like saying they're proud to do this and death to these people or take out this, it's like, okay, you now turned your company platform from saying where you're aligned with to a platform of hurt and pain and hate. That's when I'm like, I am out.
So I think, since we're talking on this, right on this topic about,
Yeah,
using your company as your stance, if you will. Doesn't
yeah.
matter what it is. Political, it could be so many different
Animal
things.
rights,
Yeah.
veganism.
Unless that's aligned with your business, please look at your website, your social media, your marketing. Look
Mhm,
at all those things. You're actually sending out an angry voice and it's resonating with your people, right? Because they get
mhm,
you. But that's this much.
yeah.
You're alienating everyone else.
Yeah. I've had people say that they don't want to work with me because of my company's stance and beliefs.
Yeah.
Because on my website, if you went and looked, I'm talking about how I'm pro inclusion, pro individuality. I will take people's stories and help them use it in a productive,
Mhm.
positive manner. And oh, you work with so I don't. It's okay, then don't work with me. It's fine.
But that's part of your business model
That's not my
and
business.
your whole business. So
Yeah,
it's an alignment.
yeah. So, but I don't turn around and say, well, this person's more
Right.
whatever. Absolutely, if that's what resonates with you and you feel that they're the right person for you to work with,
Good.
have have a great journey with them.
Yeah.
I
But we're
don't need to
saying
put them down.
if you really want to attract business, stay off the negativity and focus on your positivity of your business.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
there's no reason if I ask Karen for a recommendation, I've never heard this from her, but we've asked for businesses, hey, who do you recommend to do this? Because they're in that industry. They probably know a lot of people in that industry,
mm,
and all they do is start bashing their competitors. I now don't want to talk to this person anymore because that's how they run their business
fine.
with the lack of integrity.
And I think the one thing that we do that's very different to a lot of people is when someone asks us for a recommendation for someone, we always start with questions.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So what are the services and products you're actually looking for? How do you want to work with this person? What's your communication? I always ask what their communication style is
Absolutely.
because if they want to be texting someone at 10 o'clock at night when they have an idea and I have someone who would be great for them, but all they do, you text them, they won't read it.
Right.
That's a disaster going to happen.
Absolutely.
So then
Yeah.
I try and figure out, okay, so who fits this person best? Yeah. And that's how I do my recommendations. It's not about who's worse or who's not, because that doesn't work. And there's no point in me putting anyone down.
Absolutely.
But you get known for being that negative person.
Mhm. And what I found is by asking the questions and then going, here's three people I'd recommend. They're all different. Here's some interview questions I would highly recommend. Go interview them. And if you have questions, call me back.
Yeah.
And it's people I know and trust. It could be a competitor that I maybe have not had a real deep conversation with, or no, I just know of them and I know what they do, and that's about it. I still
Hmm.
might recommend them because they've been around a while and we bump into each other at events, summits, whatever. And I've had that happen. What do you know about them? Well,
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
this much.
And I don't ever make anything up because
No, never.
I've even said, I haven't had much of an opportunity to get to know them.
Hmm.
But from what I've seen, they seem to be, pretty good in what they're doing. Why don't you
Absolutely.
go talk to them and see if they're the right fit for you?
So I think
So
we're
what
really
is,
trying to dig in. Yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, what are some of the worst things you've heard people say about other companies when they're trying to get them?
I was had someone going, I'm looking for a CPA firm. So I start asking questions. And they go,
Mhm,
at the end, I give them three names that fit what their answers are. And they go, CPAs are all shysters. All they want is your money. They don't do anything. Then Why are you looking for a CPA? So now he became angry because he's looking for a CPA and he hates CPAs. And I gave him three really great individuals, phenomenal.
Yeah,
And I said, I need you to take those three names and that contact information and throw it away. I don't
yeah,
need you to contact them because my name's now associated with it. And you're just an angry individual looking for a fight.
yeah.
And I go, what happens in your business when you have a client that's not satisfied with your product? And he lost it. And I'm like, whoop.
Mm. I so I remember once going to the hairdresser, and well, you know me, I like my bright colors hair. And this was a new hairdresser because my hairdresser had moved out of state. And they said to me, "Oh, well, we can try this, but I've not really done much in the bright colors." And I says, "Oh, is there somebody out in the hairdressing in the salon that might be able to answer some questions or help out?" No, because you're my client, and I have to figure this out.
Right.
I'm there starting to feel very uncomfortable.
Right.
And so afterwards, I go to the reception. My hair was not what it was meant to be. I had to get it fixed. And I said to the receptionist, "Oh, she really tried hard. I appreciate the try and I appreciate her honesty, but I do need to book in with someone else to get it more to where I want it to be." And the receptionist there telling me about someone who's supposed to be a master colorist. The first girl comes up and goes, "Oh no, you don't want to go. She'll burn all your hair off. All your hair will fall out." Do you think I went and stepped foot in that salon ever again?
Nope.
The receptionist was doing the right thing.
Right.
But that girl coming in that even told me she couldn't do it properly, tearing down other salon hairstylists in her own salon.
I've seen that with realtors,
Oh
insurance
gosh.
agents, financial planners.
Oh, they gave you bad advice. Oh my God, they're going to make you go to jail.
I think we're really getting down to is like, folks, if you notice or you're one of those, you don't think it's hurting your business. You think I'm saving them from so and so from bad service or whatever. You're actually hurting yourself.
Yeah. The best response, let's say this person is a terrible real estate agent. Let's just say they actually are a terrible real estate agent. And this person goes, "Well, what do you think of so and so?" And you're like going, that you have this first-hand knowledge of all this stuff. You venting that out on this person actually hurts your own image.
Yes.
See, the best thing to say, and this is what I always teach people, is go, "Hey, I love that you're considering, different people and to look into what others offer. Make sure you're checking out. Do you want me to give you some sites where you can check out reviews of different real estate agents in the area? Check out their website. I'll give you 4 or 5 questions. What are you looking for? All right, these are the 4 or 5 questions you want to ask those real estate agents to see if they're best fit for you." I know with my own due diligence, by giving that client that information, I'm still coming across positive, but I also know that they're going to find out the stuff that I was like, "Okay, they don't need that." And it's not
Right.
me giving it them, it's from their own diligence.
Let them figure it out for themselves, but don't bash anyone. Now you become actually the connector. You're helping them, even if they're not doing business with you. And I've had so many people ask me about other business coaches. It's like, I'll be more than happy to give you
Uh-huh.
here. They seem to always come back about 7, 8 months later going, hey, are you still available?
I've had that too. I've had them come back to me 2, 3 months later and go,
Yeah,
"Do you still have place for another client?"
yeah. But they knew it because I left them with a positive experience and I was helping them without worrying about sending them an invoice. It was
Yeah.
not my intention. It was, I'm trying to help them because if I can give them the right advice and they find the right person, beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for them.
I do think it also leans onto another because we're seeing a lot of younger entrepreneurs popping up now, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's something that comes with youth and maturity in business. The youth, they try and become very friendly with people, very emotionally and socially connected with them when they bring in the business. So this spilling the tea and gossiping becomes kind of a way to connect with their ideal client.
Yeah. It's a bonding
It's a
moment.
bonding experience. And I get it. I really do. You do want to bond, but you want to bond in a positive way, not a negative way. So spilling the tea with them
Mhm.
doesn't really, unless you're spilling the tea over the latest episode of, I don't know, a show that you're both watching. Oh my
Right.
gosh, do you see last night's episode? That's different.
Different.
But when it comes down to like being negative about people in your office or people that are competitors or other people they may have worked with previously, you're just setting yourself up to be this really uncomfortable person to be around.
You just remind me of a business recently. Because I've heard this from many people. They go, "Did you see this on so and so's? Let's call him John's social media post."
Hmm.
I'm like, no, what was it? And they go, they tore into Sally's business like there's no tomorrow, just ripping them apart. And I'm like, well, did John ever do business with Sally? And they're all like, no. I go, then why did they do
Mm,
that? Well, I guess they met at an event and Sally was not the right client for him and told him, I'm not the right person, but let me give you some recommendations. John didn't like it, so he tore their business apart all on social media, flamed them hard.
yeah,
Doesn't know anything about their business, never did business with them, all because they had some kind of myth for whatever.
yeah,
Folks, does anyone, all these people were telling me about it, so they saw it, and my question to them is like, so would you do business with John? Just curious, because you were the one now telling me. First of all, you're spreading
hmm,
this, so please stop that.
yeah,
Second, would you do business with John? They all said, never in a million years.
yeah. There is a difference if you're doing a factual review of a service that you have
Totally different.
actually done. So if you are putting a negative review because of a factual basis of what you went through with that business owner, that is different. But
Different.
stay to the facts, not the emotions, because when you do
Right.
it factually, it hits a lot differently. But it's when you've never done business and you're just doing it to try and be the leading edge in the
Yeah.
competitive field. There is a difference, guys.
Yeah. Well, recently I had to get internet service because I just moved, and going through the process was very negative, very negative. So I went to their social media pages and put in facts only. How fast do you think I got a response from the organization?
Hmm. And then you actually went back and said, okay, they responded. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And they fixed it. But
Hmm.
it had to get to that to get their attention. But other people are like, that's happening to me. They related, but I stuck to facts, not emotion. And I didn't slam them. I just stated, here's my situation. And
Oh,
I got
yeah.
hundreds and, well, right now, last I looked, it was over 1,000 likes. And I'm like, I'm not there for likes. I'm there to get
Hmm.
this solved.
Oh, yeah. I did a similar thing on an app, and I'm going back several years now. And my review of this location is still highlighted and pinned, not by the establishment, but the app of a 1-star review. And I'm constantly getting notifications on my Yelp, constantly getting notifications about how my review is helping other people. And it was factual, but it was not in any way, shape, or form positive.
Right.
But the
But
thing
yeah,
is, the difference, they never tried to fix it. They dug their heels in harder.
but did you insult the company, put them down?
I was factual about it.
See, that's what we're also trying to convey here. First, you shouldn't be flaming people unless it's the facts on social media. Second, don't start putting people down unless you have had that experience. Even then, like you and I have, there's some companies like, God dang it, they're the only one who does this that we
Hmm.
found that can supply this material or product. And we both cringe that we have to use them because we know the customer experience on it's going to be so horrific. But and we ask around all the time, who do you know that else does this? Oh, they
That's
all
it.
refer to the
Yeah.
one company. But I hate referring this company, but they're the only ones who do this.
So that means that you need to find a way to have someone get the idea to be a competitor for that
Right. I
company.
need Mark Cuban to help me out because then we can duplicate their business and go against them.
Yeah. But it's I think the point of this episode is I'm actually seeing a lot more in the last 6 months
Mm.
where it's not just about doing negative reviews against a competitor, but also trying to get your own audience to go and go against that competitor too.
Right.
And I was watching a very old reality TV show last night. It's one of my favorites. It's like, the Face Off, where they do the special effects makeup. It's a cool thing for me. I like special effects makeup.
Okay.
And this one guy who was in the pair that were in the bottom as the losing, one guy immediately went to throw the other guy under the bus, back it over, run it over, back it over, run it over. Like, I mean, there was a steamroller involved. It was way over top. But it wasn't the guy who got steamrolled that got sent home. It was the guy doing the steamrolling, because they weren't coming across as being collaborative, a team player, or even someone who could be around.
See?
And it just goes to show.
So, folks, when someone asks you an opinion about a competitor, be
Be
honest
honest.
and don't go down the negativity route or bad mouthing. Keep it upbeat and always encourage them to, hey, give you a shot again. If you're putting out a quote, what can I help out with? And if they want competitors' names, here you go. Give it to them and don't badmouth them.
As we wrap up, Steve, I want you to give me the three answers to the scenario, the answers these there. If someone asks you for what you think of a competitor and you have no clue about them, what should you say?
I said, and if it's true, I've heard about them. I don't know anything. We never got a chance to connect or anything, but I would say interview them just like some others. Let me provide you with also some other options.
Hmm. What if it's someone you know and they're maybe on the scale to you, they're okay, but they're not where you are at? And because we all know where we're at in different
Right.
levels. What would you say to someone like that? Because they're asking for well, I was thinking going with this person because they're 20% cheaper.
Yeah, and I've done this too. It's like, well, I know they work with these kind of clients and I've met them and we've had many conversations and everything. Love them. I think they're great. What are you actually looking for your outcome?
Hmm. And what if it's someone you absolutely know is a completely horrific fit?
Geez, I guess got asked about someone last week about that. Someone I know who's they're a train wreck of a person, and everyone who has gone with them has just nothing, not one positive word. And I got asked about them, and I'm like, well, yes, what would you like to know? And they would say, well, I'm looking to do this. I'm like, well, I would say interview them. And here, may I give you some other suggestions and maybe some possible questions to ask while you're interviewing three people? Because I always recommend interview three people and find the right mix for you.
Yeah.
And
And
they actually did go with that person. And was it 2 days ago? Yeah, they called me up and they go, oh my God, I mean, just couldn't stop. They didn't say one nice thing about this person.
but as you notice, Steve never said a negative thing about any of those three scenarios. So you can do it, be fully in your own integrity and ethics, and
Absolutely.
still leave the door open for people because they see you as someone who is willing to speak, collaborate, share, and discuss. And
Yeah.
that is a high priority for working with a business owner.
Yeah. I know a life coach, probably one of the worst human beings you'll ever meet in the world. But does he get results for his clients? Oh my gosh. Amazing results. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, he's an ass, but God dang it. My whole life's changed because of him. And it's like, I have a love-hate referring him but he gets results for people. And he is magic, but he's just an
Yes.
ass.
Well, the same can be said about you sometimes, Steve.
I know he probably does.
But I
Yeah.
want to know what is the worst thing you've heard about yourself? Or what is the best thing you've heard about yourself as a business owner? Because I've had some really random lies spread about me, which is like one was that I was Australian.
Oh yeah, that good day mate accent you got going on
I
there.
was like, oh, where did that one come from? It's like, okay.
Okay.
Uh, but we've all had it. We've all had the positive and the negative. Because not only do you have to take these comments from other people, but you also need to learn how to respond to them in that positive way. And we'll have to do that in another episode further down the road. How to
Yeah.
respond to your comments. I think that's going to be a big one.
So we all got haters.
Oh gosh, yeah. And if you don't, you're not being loud enough.
That's it. That's what my business coach told me. They're going, if you don't have someone hating you for something you did positively, you're not trying hard enough for that client.
Yeah. And that's sad but true. All right, so leave those comments down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. And share this with if you know somebody that might feel like they have to do this or might be on the receiving end of this. Share this episode with them so that way they can see they're not alone and there's other ways to handle it.
Absolutely. We'll see you next episode.
See you next episode. Thanks for joining us on the Tea and Coffee Hub podcast today. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and it left you inspired, equipped, and ready to take your next step, whether that's in life, business, or maybe both.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes, and connect with us online and in person. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Until next time,
Keep sipping,
keep growing,
take action,
and stop making excuses.